Rick, let's start with your thoughts on your team's performance tonight, and in particular the second period, where it seemed like you really swung the game in your favor.
Yeah, I obviously I didn't mind the first. Obviously being down 1-0, but I like the way we responded in the second. I thought we worked on some stuff the last couple of days that worked tonight. A little bit more offensive movement with the D, more of a connection with the forwards. Played a little bit quicker. Thought we didn't give up much, and when we did, Lanks was there for us.
What stood out for you from Jonathan Lekkerimaki in his NHL debut?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot there to like. Smart player, when he has the puck, there's not a lot of panic. He's just going to get better. Goes to the right spots. I thought he did a really nice job tonight for his first game, and there's a lot to build off. There's a lot of stuff to work with him, and but you can tell he's got some good poise in his game.
Rick, what was it about the second period, do you think, that made it, arguably one of your best 20-minute stretches as a team this season?
Well, I thought we played a little bit faster and predictable. That helps this team when we play a little more predictable. We all know where the puck's going. 5 guys, I think that helped. Saw a lot of more people getting inside, winning battles. That helps. Squashing plays, helps. All these things will help, but you want to do it every period. I know it's hard, but I felt that it was one shift after another. We got a little bit of a roll in it. It wasn't just one line and then 2 bad ones. I just thought there was a bit of a roll where you had succession of good shifts and good smart play, managing the game, taking zones, not trying to force everything. I think that helps.
Does it matter to you to get a bounce-back effort like you got, especially in the second period, but all night long after the way your club performed over the weekend?
Yeah. I think, and I'm just going from since I've been here, we have usually a bad effort, and really it was the third period, obviously it was bad, it wasn't good, but I think when we have time as a group to get together and analyze it, most times these guys bounce back. I got to give them a lot of credit. Very rarely, we put 4 or 5 duds together. I've yet to see it, knock on wood, but to me, that's credit to the team. And the new guys coming in, and I thought last couple of days, I thought that not the practice before our first practice after was a hard practice, and they wanted a hard practice. We skated at the end, and I could feel that they wanted a little bit of not punishment, but they wanted to skate. I think that helps in this game. I really do.
Rick, something you wanted to see improve was the power player take on it tonight.
Yeah, there was some good stuff. I love that we beat pressure and Millsy right away to Petey. There was no play. There's no let's catch it, and that's the play. And you want to see more of that, and a couple of good chances. But yeah, we're going to build off it.
Did you like Lekkerimaki on it as well?
Yeah, there's some spots there that it's almost like Besser-like. I think when Brock starts feeling better, I think he can help him out, work with him a little bit, because there's some spots there that he knows where to go, and if you give him that shot, he's going to score.
And just with Petey, a goal on his birthday, of course, as well. But are you seeing his confidence build right now?
Yeah, I really do. He's working at his game. He's he's going on the ice a bit early. I think that's helping, and he's working hard, and that's the only way you get out of these things. He's starting to get his skating legs, and I think that's because he's skating hard in practice, and he's doing extra, and he has to continue to do it. Even if he's tired in a game, I told him, I don't care. We're looking for the long run with him, and I thought this week was a good week for him, and the same thing, Probably have a day off, but he'll probably come in and get a workout in, and that's the stuff that he's going to have to do, and it's starting to pay off for him.
Rick, you talked about your defensemen this a couple days ago. You talked about your defensemen wanting to take the body a little bit more. You want to see that from them and let the goaltender find the puck. I know 4 minutes in, Quinn had to play like that. Tyler had a couple in the second. Do you think your defensemen did a good enough job just taking the body around the crease tonight?
Yeah, better. That's the whole game, being able to box people out, or if there's scrambles, taking people out. We got to get better at it, and I thought tonight was a step in the right direction.
Kiefer Sherwood played a season high in ice time tonight, over 17 minutes. Obviously had the screen on Brandstrom's goal.
Yeah.
What has he given to your team?
Well, I think, when just the fact that he finishes checks is big for us. Sometimes it's not natural sometimes for our team you got to go through people, and he's one of those guys that it's contagious. When you see him go out there, it usually helps the next line that goes out there. So obviously, he's a guy that will take the body at all the time. And he's got some offensive capabilities, too. He's got some points this year. He had a chance on that 2-on-1. That's what I like. He's just not a guy that just hits all night. He can make plays.
And you showed confidence in going back to Kevin Lankinen tonight. Has a bounce back effort.
Yeah.
Just describe what that means to your group and the confidence it gives the team.
Yeah, he deserves to play. I don't care if he let 10 goals against Edmonton. He deserved to play tonight. And he's a battler. He battles hard. I mean, he played another good game. I mean, that's all he does is play good games for us. It's a credit to him. Really a fan of him because he stays in the moment.
Was that vintage JT tonight?
Yeah, Millsy had a really good game. I thought Millsy and Petey, Teddy, I thought the centermen, all centermen were good tonight. That's a big part of your team when you can have centers play a good game. But, when him and Petey play good, they both have really good games. It really makes a difference for us.
Going back to Lekkerimaki, a lot of the talk is about his offensive game, but he performed really well in the defense zone, and you even had him out in the last 2 minutes with the empty net. What have you noticed about his defensive game since you've been working with him since training camp?
Yeah, I think I got to credit the Abbotsford Manning those guys because they've been concentrated. Obviously, you got to let the guy be creative and do his thing. But I think play without the puck is something that he wanted to work on. I think the Twins grabbed him last couple days. Has helped. And I think Millsy today was really communicative on the bench with him. They talked a lot. I think that really calmed him down. That was great by Millsy and that line and Puce to help him out. When you communicate with a young guy all the time, it really helps. So I got to give those guys a lot of credit.
In same vein,
Yeah.
we've seen with Kuzmenko or even Daniel Sprong recently, you can have all the offensive skill in the world, but playing for this team while you're the head coach, you tend to have to hit a pretty high baseline level in terms of defensive play as a winger to get the minutes at the top of the lineup. Do you have to modify those expectations when you're working with a 20-year-old guy like Lekkerimaki versus sort of what we've seen some other wingers go through?
Yeah, but listen, it's one game for him, but I see, and I'm not talking to the other guys, but for him, there's a conscience there. Like, you have to have, you want to press the envelope, you want to score, you want to be creative, but when there's times when you got to be in a spot for us that's critical, you have to show a conscience, you got to have the conviction to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're the reload guy, two guys dive in and you're not really reloading, you're kind of coming back slow. I have a tough time for those type of players. I don't care. And if that you do, you better score 60 goals. Like, that's just my rule. So you got to have a conscience. I think the kid has a conscience. You watch him play. Sure, he's going to make a mistake, but I think the difference with it, and I think they talk about it, he's obsessive about his game. I think he really wants to be obsessive, play without the puck. But I'm nuts. I want him to be creative, though. I want him to go. I don't want him to, not looking to be the third guy back all the time. That's not what I'm looking for.
And you get an interference call in the third period in your own defensive zone. It feels like there have been a few of those. I don't have the data yet, but anecdotally, it feels like there have been a few of those calls against your club. Have you heard anything from referees? Like, is that something they're cracking down on or trying to adjust teams away from this season?
Yeah, I think, and Frederick, he's an awesome ref. Like, he'll come by the bench and he'll kind of warn, hey, guys, be careful here. I think they allow a certain amount of interference because, you can't just let people go by you, but there's that sweet spot. I don't see a trend, but, we do have to be careful of that if it becomes a trend. It's a good question, yeah.
Rick, you talked about the flow. You look at your team and the depth that you have. Is it to your advantage to play a game where there's a minimal amount of penalties because of that depth, and you can develop that flow in a game?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to, try to get the fourth line out a little bit, but, when you have a lot of penalties, our team, if we can get a four line, obviously Petey and Mills are going to get their share of ice time, but if you can get that fourth line and, you can get them that 10, 12, 13 minutes, like we did last year, get that fourth line going, it can really help your club in 5-on-5 play, because you can wear the other team down. The flow of the game is big for our team.
Talk about Pettersson, you've
Yeah.
always talked about the fact you like to see him move his feet. And that goal, I mean, he darts out of the corner, goes hard to the net.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to see more of that type of aggressive play in terms of his skating?
Well, when you get rewarded when you're doing that stuff, it's he knows he's got to do it, and it's not that I always tell him it's you don't. It's not I don't want you to have to do it. I want you to want to do it, because that's and you can tell that he wants to do it. Like he's just even he's very attentive now. Like I just feel, he just seems like last week he's really kind of enough's enough, and he's rolling up the sleeves, and that's what I want to see from him. And he has put some good efforts for us.